Good evening, this is Joe Henches, and tonight is September 12th, and this is the market update for tomorrow. So we'll take a look at what happened today and see what's on tap for tomorrow. Let's start off with the S&P 500. We're using the SPY, SPY. You can see a fairly tight range the last couple of days in here. We're pushing to the top of the Keltner bands. We're running into some resistance from back in late July, early August as we approach the top here around the 1st of the August. I guess it was August 2nd on the SPY. Came off nicely off of the trend line. And as we talked about, it was basically the NASDAQ pulling everything higher, higher and higher. Let's take a look at the QQQs, the ETF for the NASDAQ composite. It's broken out to new highs as we talked about last couple of days. Looking very nice. The 10-day exponential is above the 20-day. I like to use that as a trigger line. I'd like to see it trading above the 10-day exponential. We've got the 20, the 50, and the 200-day. Everything seems to be lined up. It seems to be pushing higher. Quite low volume today on the QQQs. But again, it was kind of a pause day. I'm not seeing any divergence in here. Yeah, nothing. Nothing I can detect off the top of my head. We looked at the S&P 500, the Qs. I want to focus on the metals tonight. We're going to look at gold. We're going to look at silver. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at the gold ETF, GLD. Okay, you had this, let me get rid of this. You had this trend line coming up from July, August, and on, what is today? Today is Thursday, so this would have been Tuesday. This little bar here broke the trend line, okay? It also closed below this low of this day, and that was not a good sign. And breaking the trend line, then we get the gap down today as gold kind of plunged. Now, where did it plunge to? Right to the 50-day moving average, slightly below it. The 10's rolling down, turning over. The fact that it broke the trend line, it's suspect right now as to whether or not this uptrend can continue, can reestablish itself, or whether or not we're going to go back down and test to the lows here. So we're just going to, you'd have to watch and see. I mean, if I am not in this, I'm not trading this particular GLD. But really the intermediate trend, you get the 20 above the 50, the 50's trying to round. If anything, I would be looking for a buy signal. Okay, back here throughout all this time back here. You have the 20 below the 50 is below the 200. I mean, you're looking for sells. You're looking for places that you can sell. You're looking for places to sell. All the way along the line, you're looking for places to sell. Okay, the trend is down. But now, I remember back in here, we were getting bullish divergence. We started to turn. Then we started to get above the 50-day moving average. We're getting the 50-day turning up. So now the trend is trying to change. Okay, let's take a look at silver. Silver, very similar type thing. The 50-day is turned up, the 20 days above it, the 10-day was above it. But again, we had this big reaction back down. Now, really, let's take a look at retracement. If we were to look from the low here up to the high here, we've retraced a little over 50% of this move right here. We've retraced a little over 50%. So, it could be time where it's just going to catch. But again, what would I be looking for? I would be looking for some type of buy signal, buy setup to get in here. And I don't see it now. I'm just saying that's what I'd be looking for. Let's see. We looked at that. Do I have copper up? I don't think. Copper, yes, I do. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Copper really is kind of a mixed bag. I mean, it's going back up and down, kind of scattered. It's really, the 50-day moving average is trending down. The 20 has gotten above it as it's trying to turn. I don't think I have a 200 on here. But the bigger picture on copper, which is the interesting thing, you look at this over a broader picture. Okay, this is over the last 5 years. Let's see, yeah, 5 to 6 years. You can see the big sell-off in 2008 when all the commodities went in the tank. Now you had the big rally as the Fed was pumping money and there's stimulus from the economy and trying to get the economy back on its feet. And then that peaked, topped out basically January, February 2011. And it has pretty much been working its way sideways to down and kind of a big top in here. Almost looks like a large, head and shoulders, a big head, and a couple shoulders broken through this neckline, and it's been struggling. It hasn't broken away, but if anything, I'd be cautious about being bullish on copper right now. So let's take a look at some of the mining stocks that come in here. I'm going to take a first one, Cleveland Cliffs. I keep saying Cleveland Cliffs. I think that's what they used to be called. It's Cliffs Natural Resources. I went into this in depth yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot today. We had a pullback today. This was a doji, what they call a doji star. Basically, why do we have this line? Because it closed right where it opened. So basically, you had indecision. Okay, you went up, the bulls got in control, the bears got in control, the bulls got back in control, and it ended up neutral for the day. And today it pulled back. There was some negative comments, some developments related to something in Canada. I got a buy signal, in my opinion, on the 9th, which was Monday. So yes, I bought right at the close here, 23.23, I think is where I bought, and it's 23.18 close. And I bought calls. I bought October 22nd, 22 calls, $224. So we'll see how those turn out. Right now I'm down, and we got to close below this 10-day exponential moving average. If I get a close below this low tomorrow, I will be out. I will be exiting at 10 to 3 Central Time, 5 to 3 Central Time. I will be getting out. If it looks like I'm getting a close below this low, I think that's a very real possibility. I also think it's a real possibility this thing is going to continue to push higher and break right up through this trend line. So that's what we'll see. I mean, I know where I'm getting out. I know what's going to tell me to get out. So I'm okay with that. Let's see what's next. Freeport. Let's take a look at Freeport McMoran, FCX. It has been pushing higher very nicely. Up the last couple days. Again, Freeport is copper and gold. I think they do a little bit of molybdenum. I can't say that very well. And I don't know. I mean, they've got gold mining operations in copper, and of course, gold went in the tank. But these guys, for whatever, they're making a comeback, and they're trying to do some things financially, I think, that are very positive. So, they've had a big sell-off. I mean, like everybody else, it's down. So it's trying to bottom and come out from that. It's above the 200-day moving average. The 50-day is rounding up. You got the 20 above the 50, the 10 above the 20. So it's definitely trying to turn higher. I am not in that. Newmont Mining. Okay. Here's one, gold's dropped off, and we showed how the gold broke the channel, broke down. Now you got Newmont. I thought Newmont was making a base. And honestly, you could almost make the case in here that Newmont it'll be interesting to see if you draw a trend line in here. This thing could have a head and shoulders bottom and could turn higher. And I am about running out of time. Silver Wheaton's the last thing, and honestly, silver had the same kind of bottom, same kind of shoulder, head, shoulder, pulled up, pulled back. I would be looking for a buy in here until this thing totally turns around, but not right now. But that's what I'd be waiting for as a buy. So that's it for now. We'll talk to you this weekend. Have a great Friday.